Hey guys, it's Looks and Wisdom Sundays with Aluchi. How you doing?
Hey guys, and welcome to another exciting episode of Looks and Wisdom Sundays with me, Aluchi. I'm actually shooting outside today, so I'm going to try and keep my eyes up because the sun is literally in my face. I am the author of this self-help healing guide, and I do these Looks and Wisdom Sundays as a form of healing and self-mastery by finding wisdom literally anywhere. And because September is Heritage Month, I decided to focus on heritage from everywhere. Last week we did Queen Zinga, which is very nice. This week we are doing Queen of Sheba. She is famous throughout all religion, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and so many others. And her story is very important to me and very important to a lot of females because she's literally one of the first representations of female of means. She was actually a queen running her own kingdom without a king. And she went over to Israel. We don't know where she is from. There's a lot of talk about whether she's from Iran or she's from Ethiopia, and there's new talk about she could be from the Great Zimbabwe. So we don't know where the queen is from, but the whole point is that the queen is the queen. And she found out about King Solomon, who was actually one of the ordained kings by God throughout all religions. So King Solomon was one of the wise men, and he was wise. And so the queen actually went to go see King Solomon in order for her to amass some wisdom from him and to test him through riddles. But the most important theme that we need to actually establish from the queen is the fact that she was an entity on her own in a world that was very patriarchal. So she was an entity on her own, and she didn't need anybody else. She had a lot of wealth. You do find that initially she used to send King Solomon gifts, and then eventually she went there herself to try to test him. And the way in which she tested him attests to her femininity and her feminine power, because she focused on very important themes. For example, so she gave King Solomon like 4 riddles. One, I'm not going to give you the riddles because I don't like making these things long. You guys can find the riddles online. But the first riddle actually focuses on childbirth. So it focuses on the womb and the feminine body. And then the second riddle and the third one focus on male and female roles in society and how one affects the other one. And then the last one actually focuses on just the male. So she's very, very particular about the questions that she asked pertaining to the feminine body. She asked about childbirth, and then she asked about the family unit on the second one. And then the third one, she asked about the roles between girls and guys and how that is perceived by society. And then the third one, she actually asked about male in a question around circumcision. And I just wanted to bring that forward because she is literally one of the few feminine representations that we have in religion and spirituality. And she came through and asked the important questions that all females would ask about the protection of their feminine body, pertaining to the menstrual cycle as well as giving birth, the family unit, how does the female fit into the family unit, the roles between the females and the males on her third riddle, and lastly she focused on what is a man in terms of circumcision. So I thought it was very, very important that the only one of the few representations of females in the Bible and in Islam and Judaism and all the other religion is actually a strong female who was empowered herself, went to go see a king, tested him out in a language that pertains to the female and the feminine energy. And so King Solomon is actually able to answer these questions. He said, God willing, with his wisdom, he would. And then he did. And then the queen actually bore him a son, and she went on with her life, which is actually a nice ending to the story, because as a female, you go to a male to ask what you're looking for. If what you're asking for and what you're looking for is being served, then you stay and create a family unit. So I think, just to sum it up, Queen of Sheba represented femininity and feminine energy to King Solomon's masculinity and masculine energy. And when they were brought together, the queen actually brought in a lot of feminine energy in order to test if the male energy understands and gets, and that they're actually equally yoked in their understanding of their roles in humanity. And then they went on to then create their own family unit, because allegedly the queen left and she was pregnant, and then when the son was born, King Solomon made the son the king as well. So I thought that was very important, and also important to us to know the power that we bring and to always test the waters before we dive in. And again, I don't like making these things long. I just want us to remember the Queen of Sheba as the best representation of femininity and feminine energy. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next week for another episode of Looks and Wisdom Sundays. I love this episode.
Thank you for joining. See you next week with another episode of Looks and Wisdom with Oluchi.